Welcome to this video where we're going to dive deep into the science behind happiness. We live in a world where happiness is often associated with material possessions and money. But why is that? Is it really true that money can buy happiness? Today, we're going to explore this question and more. The purpose of this video is to help you understand the true nature of happiness and why it can't be bought with money or possessions. This topic is so important because many of us spend our entire lives chasing after material things, thinking that they will bring us happiness. But the truth is, happiness is a state of mind, and it's not something you can buy at a store. Throughout this video, we'll be exploring the different factors that contribute to happiness. We'll be looking at the role of relationships, gratitude, mindfulness, and more. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of what it takes to live a happy life. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the science behind happiness. And if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to our channel to stay updated on all our latest content. Now that we've covered the basics of happiness, let's dive a little deeper into the science behind it. There are two main theories of happiness: the hedonic approach and the eudaimonic approach. The hedonic approach focuses on maximizing pleasure and minimizing pain. This means that people seek out activities that bring them joy and happiness, while avoiding things that cause them discomfort or sadness. On the other hand, the eudaimonic approach is centered around living a meaningful and purposeful life. It involves pursuing personal growth and fulfilling one's potential, which can lead to a deeper sense of satisfaction and well-being. Now, you might be wondering if happiness is entirely within our control. While genetics and personality do play a role in our overall happiness levels, research suggests that we can still increase our happiness through intentional actions. In fact, studies have shown that even small changes in our daily habits can have a significant impact on our well-being. One interesting concept in the study of happiness is the happiness set point theory. This theory proposes that each individual has a baseline level of happiness to which they eventually return, regardless of external circumstances. While this might sound discouraging, it's actually empowering because it means that we have the ability to raise our set point through intentional actions and habits. So, whether you subscribe to the hedonic or eudaimonic approach, or perhaps a combination of both, there are scientifically backed ways to increase our happiness and improve our overall well-being. We've talked about the importance of having a sense of purpose, but there's another key element to a happy life: social connections. Research has consistently shown that people with strong relationships are happier and healthier than those without. But what exactly does that mean? Well, let's dive in. First, let's talk about the different types of relationships that contribute to happiness. We have romantic relationships, friendships, and family relationships. Each of these is important in its own way. Romantic relationships provide a deep sense of intimacy and connection, while friendships allow us to have fun and share interests with people who share our values. Family relationships provide a sense of belonging and a support system. But why are social connections so important? Well, they provide a sense of belonging and support, which in turn leads to increased life satisfaction. People with strong relationships are less likely to experience depression and anxiety, and have a better overall sense of well-being. So, if you're feeling a little down, take a look at your social connections. Are there people in your life who you feel close to? Are you spending time with friends and family? If not, it might be time to make some changes. Reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while, or join a group or club that aligns with your interests. Investing in your relationships is investing in your happiness. Now that we've talked about the impact of giving back on society, let's dive into the personal benefits. Giving back doesn't just benefit the people or organizations you're helping, it can actually improve your own happiness and life satisfaction. Studies have shown that people who give back tend to have lower levels of stress and depression, and higher levels of overall well-being. There are many ways to give back, whether it's volunteering your time, donating to a charity, or practicing random acts of kindness. The important thing is to find what works for you and your schedule. Maybe you can only spare a few hours a week to volunteer, or maybe you can only afford to donate a small amount of money. Every little bit counts and can make a difference. So why does giving back make us feel so good? It turns out there are psychological reasons behind it. When we give back, our brains release feel-good chemicals such as dopamine and oxytocin, which activate the reward centers in our brains. This can lead to a sense of fulfillment and happiness that can last long after the act of giving is over. So not only does giving back benefit those around us, it can also benefit ourselves. Take some time to think about how you can give back in your own life, and see how it can positively impact your own well-being. So, we've covered a lot of ground in this video, from the science of happiness to the different ways we can cultivate it in our lives. But all of this information begs the question, what's the point? Why should we bother striving for happiness at all? Well, the answer is simple, because it's worth it. Short-term pleasures might give us a temporary boost, but they don't truly fulfill us in the long run. It's the lasting happiness that we want, the kind that sustains us through tough times and gives us a sense of purpose and meaning in life. So how do we find that kind of happiness? One key way is through building strong relationships with others. Whether it's with family, friends, or a romantic partner, investing time and energy into our connections with others can be incredibly fulfilling. It gives us a sense of belonging and reminds us that we're not alone in this world. Another way to find lasting happiness is through giving back to others. Whether it's volunteering at a local charity, donating to a cause we care about, or simply doing something kind for someone else, acts of service can give us a sense of purpose and fulfillment that lasts long after the initial good deed is done. And finally, practicing gratitude can also be a powerful way to cultivate lasting happiness. By taking time each day to reflect on the things we're grateful for, we shift our focus away from what we lack and towards what we already have. It's a simple but powerful shift that can make a big difference in our overall sense of well-being. So there you have it, 3 ways to find lasting happiness in your life. Of course, there's no one-size-fits-all approach, and what works for one person might not work for another. But by exploring these different avenues and finding what works best for you, you can start to build a life that's truly fulfilling and meaningful. So we've talked about happiness and how it relates to money and material possessions. It's a topic that can be debated endlessly, but what's important is how it affects us as individuals. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that more money and things will lead to more happiness. But is that really true? I encourage you, as you're watching this video, to take a moment and think about what truly brings you long-term fulfillment. Is it a new car or a bigger house? Or is it spending time with loved ones, pursuing your passions, or making a positive impact in the world? Everyone's definition of happiness is different, and that's okay. The key is to figure out what it means to you and strive towards that. Don't get caught up in the never-ending cycle of trying to accumulate more and more. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We have plenty more content coming your way, so be sure to stay tuned.